Hello and welcome to my match reaction to the West Bromwich Albion versus Preston North End game. I'll also be bringing you my review of 2022. Of course, that includes from the start of Ryan Lowe's reign up until this point before we go into the new year. I won't be doing any player ratings today as we were all absolutely dreadful yesterday, but what I will mention is Freddie Woodman was by far the best player on that pitch for us yesterday. And I'll also give credit to Alvaro Fernandez as well, and also Ali McCann when he came on as a substitute. But yeah, let's just begin now. I'll talk you through the game. We started off pretty well. The first couple of minutes, we were the team with possession. We were attacking. We had a chance with Reece down the left-hand side. We kept possession pretty well in that midfield. And then all of a sudden, just someone clicked a switch. And we just experienced wave after wave after West Brom attack. Corner after corner after corner. Freddie Woodman, as I did just mention, was absolutely superb. He was keeping this game 0-0. He was keeping us in this game. Some excellent saves from Freddie Woodman last night. And then we had two stupid mistakes. We had a sloppy pass out from Potts, and then a sloppy control by Ryan Ledson, and then that's how we gave away our first goal. It was a far out shot, bottom corner finish, no chance for Freddie Woodman, and then it ended 1-0 in the first half. Still no improvement, and then they finish us off with another mistake. Benjamin Whiteman caught on the ball. It was like a 3v1 through on our goal, and there was absolutely no chance. And then they finish us off with their second goal. As I did mention, Ali McCann did come on from the bench, and he did have a good chance. He hit the post, our best chance of the game. So that was something little right at the end, I suppose. There's rumours that a few of the players have fallen out with the manager. As I did mention previously, there's been 5 players out with injuries. They have since returned, apart from Andrew Hughes or Brady, but they don't look like that they want to be there. They don't care. The lazy play, can't be bothered, and that's why I just feel like that's why the manager doesn't want them there. One of the players deleted his pictures of anything to do with P&E on his social media. They have since come back up, but that is something weird that's going on. But when we've got a squad depth that we do have, with absolutely no options other than our under-19s team, then our manager's just forced to play these players, even though they are no good, because he's not getting backed in these transfer windows, and he is not allowed to get his players. And we've got these players that don't want to play, this manager that doesn't want these players to play, and we end up with these horrible performances, and we don't get anywhere. What I don't understand is, I know Ryan Lowe's had some really good past history in his managerial career. I mean, he's only really just started. He got promoted with Bury, got promoted with Plymouth, and then he took that Plymouth side that just got promoted to go on a really good run, and then got them into the top 6 before moving to Preston. But it was a bit strange last night. I know we don't have that many options, but we had a couple of attacking options. We're losing 2-0, and he decides to bring on a defender. I don't know why we need to make a defensive switch when we're in a losing situation. If someone can ask him that question, it'll be interesting to see what his response to that is, and what he was thinking at the time. But the players for me that were no good. I mean, the whole team was pretty poor, but I mean, the worst players on that pitch for me was Brad Potts and Ryan Ledson. I said 3 years ago that these players were no good. They've since, improved, and then, Potts has been scoring some really good goals. Ledson's been putting in some really good tackles. But at the end of the day, what I saw from that performance, I just, I've never liked them. And I think I've just gone back to my original thought now. And those 2 players cannot start. They just can't start. I know we've not got any squad depth, but for our next game, our first game of 2023 against Stoke City, there needs to be a switch up. I don't care who's going to go in. It'll probably be, hopefully Ali McCann instead of Ledson, and Alan Brown instead of Brad Potts, and Brown can go in wing back, and we can free up an extra space in midfield for maybe Woodburn or Daniel Johnson to come in. And then as for Benjamin Whiteman, really he's our only option in that part of the midfield, so he has to start. So it doesn't matter what performance he puts in. He's our best option. Which says something from his performance last night. But yeah, it's I think what we've got to do now is just enjoy each single game as they come, just each win as they come, rather than looking at a whole picture, the whole league table, the whole 46 games, and because it just starts as staring at the league table and say, oh my goodness, we're 2 points off the top 6. We all get hyped up. And then we end up finishing in the bottom half of the season, and it's another wasted season. We're not going to be that team that's going to finish in the playoff spots this season, unfortunately. And I know you can say we're only 2 points off it, but guess what? So are 10 teams, much better than us. We played QPR and Huddersfield Town prior to the West Brom game. 3 defeats in our last 3. Those are 3 teams, apart from Huddersfield, but they'll probably catch up to us if we keep on playing like we are. Those are 2 teams that are now above us, and also fighting for that top 6 spots. If there's no fight in our squad to put any effort in or want to get in that top 6, and then you've got all these other teams around you, then there's no chance. West Brom, they were a brilliant side last night. The very good change with Carlos Corberán coming in, and I feel like West Brom are going to make it into that top 6 come the end of the season. So I'm not disappointed about losing to this amazing team. I was disappointed that we didn't give it a go. All we did all game was just stand still. We had about 8 defenders and just a couple of players in midfield. If we've got any chance of attacking, we can't just rely on one player all the time to just do all the work. We all have to go as a team and attack right hand side, left hand side, middle. But it's just one player gets the ball, the rest of our team just stands there and watches and hopes that he can do it all himself. He loses out, then it comes to someone else, and then it's his turn to go. And it's never going to work like that. And they all need to put in some effort and not sit back, especially when you're in a losing situation, because you've just given up at that point. But we gave up right from the start. Basically, that's what it looked like. Anyway, there was one change to the team news last night. Patrick Bauer did come in to replace Greg Cunningham, and I like Bauer. He's a very good defender, but it just cannot work if him and Liam Lindsay are starting. They are 2, strong defenders, physical defenders with no pace in them. If you're going to start 2 defenders out of your back 3 centre-backs that have got no pace, especially against the West Bromwich side that is full of it, you're going to be in for a tough night, and they got turned inside out last night. So yeah, just for the future, that cannot happen. They're 2 very similar players, and you can't have them both starting at once, so you've got to take your pick on that one. We've got Stoke City coming up on Monday, which is the 2nd of January, I do believe, the first game of the new year. And, well, we need to, pull ourselves together and actually want to fight in this game, because Stoke City, they've picked up some mixed results so far this season. They're a bit 50-50. So this is a team that, if we want to, we can go and win, but we have to actually go for it and not sit back and expect it to automatically happen for us. This one's going to be a very good test, actually. It will probably determine whether or not we actually care of finishing in that top 6 or not. We already pretty much have seen that in their last 3 games. QPR, we created no chances. Huddersfield Town, we got a goal and we created a few chances, but not that many. They are bottom of the table, but we still ended up losing to them. West Bromwich Albion, as I've already mentioned, no chances in the game and not wanting to create any chances. So it will be an interesting game for Stoke City. For me, to see the result, obviously, but mainly to see what type of performance we do put in. I mean, I don't care if we lose, but it's just how we lose. If we don't put any effort into it, then, fans are going to get angry and annoyed. Right, so that's going to be it for my match reaction, just my quick 2022 review. It's been pretty much exactly the same as it normally has for the past 8 years we've been in the Championship. New great manager coming through the door, inherits a really lazy squad, does something with it. It's an absolute miracle, but they managed to do something with it for a couple of weeks. Transfer window opens, the manager doesn't get backed, he's not allowed to bring in his players, then the manager just gives up, the players give up, and then it's just on a cycle, it's on repeat. Fans obviously not happy with all the defeats that they're picking up. They call for the manager to be sacked, then we bring in the new one to be absolutely ruined. So for me, the manager's not the problem. We've got a very good manager. January's going to be very big to see if he's going to get backed. We need a new wing back, a new striker, and probably now a new midfielder. I'm hoping for 3 signings, and I'm not talking some free agents, loans, or anyone from League Two. I want to see some good. I'm hoping to spend around 3 million. In this transfer window, 1 million on each player if we can. I know it's not going to happen, but something really needs to change now. They either back this manager or just completely give up now. You might as well just let him go, and he can continue on with his career and do great things. But despite the squad we have had, we've got some pretty good results. I mean, I know they've been 1-0. We've had like 7 1-0 victories so far this season. We did beat Blackburn Rovers 4-1, which is the greatest performance I have seen in the past couple of years, honestly. That was brilliant, that game, and I don't know why we can't do it again. I mean, Blackburn Rovers, I know they've been mixed and they can be poor at times, but they're still a good side, and to put in that type of performance and beat them with that scoreline, it was brilliant, that game. And he's picked up some good wins, but it has been a bit frustrating at times on why he doesn't attack a bit more. I mean, we've got a formation with wing backs. This can either end up a very defensive formation or a very attacking formation, and I can see why he does it, because it can do both, but I've not seen it do both. I've only seen it do the one, which is defend. So yeah, that'll be it for my match reaction review of 2022. I don't know. I would say hopefully we can go again and hopefully pick up 3 points. As I said, we're only 2 points off the top 6, so it's still up for grabs. Some good players in January. We could be still on for a good season, but at the moment I just don't feel that, and I feel we're going to just finish mid-table, maybe even lower than 12th. But we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, I will see you all in my next video.